Hello, everybody. My name is Ratnos, and we have some big news coming in about tuning, class tuning. This is it. This is usually the last day that you will see tuning, unless there's something really urgent, until after the Race to World First is over, has been kind of the historical standard. The Friday of Heroic Week is kind of when everything gets finalized. And here we actually have quite a bit going on here. So first off, Hunter. We've got Hunter buffs to all three specs. 15% buffs to Kill Command, Cobra Shot, Barb Shot, Multi-Shot, and Kill Shot for BM. That's quite a bit of damage for them. 10% buffs to Aimed Shot, Arcane Shot, Multi-Shot, and Rapid Fire for MM. And 15% to their Kill Shot. And Survival getting huge buffs to half the kit for, but only 10%, not the 15 that you saw for BM. Still, very exciting set of buffs for Hunter that will perhaps make the class less of a one. The Hunters were getting pretty worried. They were getting pretty worried there, but this looks pretty big to me, so we'll see how that shakes out. Fire! Fire Mage buffs. Fireball damage going up. Fire Blast damage going up. Pyroblast damage going a little bit up. So Fire, a spec that is certainly more likely to see play than it was before these buffs. I mean, obviously. I think it was already looking like it was still going to be a great choice in Mythic Plus, so this is going to help there also. But this might move them into a spec that you'll play in the raid as well, so this may be throwing a another exciting wrench into Mage Covenant plans. Trying to decide between now 3 different potential spec Covenant combos. We'll see what ends up being good there. Shadow Priest getting nerfed. 8% less Devouring Plague damage, and 5% less Void Bolt damage from the Dissonant Echoes Conduit. So not a huge nerf. Devouring Plague is a lot of their damage. My guess is this ends up being something like a 4 or 5% overall nerf, but I'm not a Shadow Priest scientist. I'm sure that they will be... If you are a Shadow Priest, I'm sure that you can check your favorite local theory crafter, and they will have a very frequently asked question of how bad this is. It's not... I doubt it will be the end of the world for Shadow. And finally, Affliction Warlock. 5% damage to all spells. I don't know if this brings them to be better than Destra or Demo in any of the situations in this raid, but it actually might. They really weren't that far behind, and it's definitely good for them in Mythic Plus as well. They can already do some pretty big AoE there, so interesting there. Interesting. We'll have to see what all the ramifications of this is, but this is a pretty comprehensive and big set of class balancing, and we also have more information about Covenant Legendary tuning. We saw these changes first yesterday. I made a video with Tettles that you can check out where we went through what was going on here. They are buffing a boatload of the Conduit Legendary, or the Covenant Legendaries. They've now made some tweaks to that. The tweaks are the Kyrian Priest Legendary is going to be less buffed than it was planned to be. So it's still getting a buff, it's just a smaller buff. The Venthyr Warrior Legendary nerf has been reverted, but there is a new nerf, which is to the Kyrian Paladin Legendary, which my understanding is this is pretty relevant information for Ret Pallies, for whom this was looking like it was going to be a best-in-slot option. We'll see what the implications are there, but, my condolences to any Ret Pallies watching this one. We also have the cataloged research cap has been removed. This is, it was increased to 22k, and now it has been just taken out entirely. Not surprised by this. In fact, I predicted it several days ago. Well, it was a little bit less strong than a prediction. I said it might happen, and it did. So it was sort of a prediction. And this makes sense, right? The research cap existed so that we wouldn't just reach rank 6 and have enough research to buy all the stuff we wanted. But they forgot to think about what the actual play pattern was going to be. And it turns out that the play pattern was going to be you reached 12,000 research, and then you bought some items you didn't care about, deleted them out of your inventory to free up space to keep turning in research. And it turns out that play pattern is really bad, really unfun for a lot of people. So kudos to Blizzard for fixing this fast. My advice would be next time, if they want to implement a cap like this, make sure that there's something that doesn't feel quite so bad to spend the research on until we're rank 6. So Anima, Soul Twinning Crescents, Reputation with the Shadowlands reps, anything like that. I don't know. Season 1 socket items, those would still be actually somewhat useful for players, I'm sure. And we have Sanctum of Domination buffs to Mythic, Fate Scribe, Guardian, and Soul Render. So this is obviously not something that we really have an anchor for how much this matters yet. Historically, they do these sorts of balance changes to Mythic before it comes out, kind of based on how Heroic looks. Like if they were expecting a fight to be easy on Heroic and then it ends up being hard, or it ends up being harder than they expected on Heroic, then they can make these adjustments because they realize that their baseline is maybe a little bit in one direction or another. But I have a newfound fear of these sorts of buffs because the last boss that got several of these in a row was Stone Legion Generals during the Castle Nathria cycle. It got buffed several times in the week leading up to Mythic Week of Castle Nathria, and that fight ended up being the worst fight of all time, largely because of those buffs. So hopefully these aren't those. Hopefully these are just good, increasing the difficulty of the fight in a nice, fun way. A lot of this is raid damage. A little bit of it is tank damage, though. This is, Diviner's Probe on Fate Scribe. Already hurt pretty bad. Getting a 50% buff should be pretty fun there. So it'll be a big tank moment where you taunt on this thing. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how all this works out. But I'm hopeful, but I've now am also deeply fearful of another Stone Legion Generals always. So hopefully these are good. Don't really know, but figured it was worth adding into this little update video. Anyways, hope this helped. Check out my Twitch stream, twitch.tv/ratnos. Thanks everybody for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.